Hey, it's been a long summer. The garden's done well, and it's kind of here toward the end of the summer. It's harvest time, so I've picked a lot of things out of the garden, and it turns out the hot peppers, the serrano peppers, made a lot. So today we're doing the first step, one of two, of making hot sauce. Like I said, I have a lot of peppers. I actually threw a couple jalapenos and a couple plain old bell peppers in there. They'll all go together, and by the time the hot sauce is done, we won't tell one from the other. So I'm going to take these peppers. I'm just going to take the ends off, well, at least the top ends, and just chop them up. Doesn't have to be anything particular. You just want them cut enough that they're going to, when they're soaking in that brine, they're going to soak it up. Obviously, I'm keeping an eye out for any bad spots as I'm doing this. And I think I'm going to separate the red ones from the green ones. I'm leaving the seeds in, leaving all the hot stuff in, because what's hot sauce if it's not hot? There's a lot of stuff you will read about this kind of thing. Obviously, take precautions when you're chopping these up. Wear gloves and don't touch your face and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm a firm believer in live your own life. If you want to burn the skin off your fingers like I'm attempting, go for it. You know, I mean, I've never been a big fan of my own skin, so I guess we'll see in a couple weeks how that turns out for me. But for today, you know, it feels good. If it starts burning, obviously I'll wash my hands. And since this process will take quite a while, I'm just going to skip ahead to the good part next. Okay, I've got them all chopped up. That was some work, but I've got basically 4 quarts here. 3 of the green, 1 of the red. They're not completely full because the next step will involve fermenting them, and we're going to need some room in those jars to make that happen. So from here, I'm going to fill each jar, or at least cover the peppers with a mixture of 1 quart water, 3 tablespoons of salt. I'm using distilled water with this brine. Theoretically, the chlorine in tap water could inhibit the fermentation process, and so just to be safe, I'm using distilled water for it. I want to make sure these peppers are covered. Obviously, they're going to float a little bit, but I also want to give them a little bit of room to breathe. I'm going to take these and put them on my pantry shelf out of direct sunlight. Going to leave them there for a couple weeks, but every few days I'm going to come in and check on them. I'm going to open those lids and let some of that fermentation gas release. Otherwise, I would have exploded jars all over my pantry and kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm going to put these lids on these, put them in the pantry, and check back on them in 2 weeks where we will finish up our hot sauce. Hey guys, it's been a couple of weeks since the peppers went into the jars. They've been fermenting, and now the liquid is kind of cloudy, and most of the fermentation at this point has slowed down, so it's time to make some hot sauce. I'm going to drain off some of the brine of this stuff. You wouldn't need to, but I want it to be less salty of a hot sauce. So I'm gonna take the peppers and kind of just run them through a quick strainer here. Get those last couple out. And then take the peppers and shake out the water and bring them over here to a pot. gonna dump them in and combine that with a little bit of this brine water. Mmm, tasty.
Tasty.
Really, I'm just looking for enough to cover the peppers, and I'm going to combine that with just some fresh filtered water. There we go. And I'm going to add some garlic to this and bring it to a boil. These boiled for about 15 minutes and put them in, cooled them off just a little bit, and now I'm going to dump them right into the blender. And then to that, I'm going to add some lime juice and just a splash of vinegar. Some people like a more vinegary hot sauce. Add more if you like it. Add less if you don't like it. And then we'll blend this up. From here, I'm gonna take the blended pepper mixture and put it through the food mill just to filter out some of those bigger pieces and solids and give us a more consistent texture. All depends on how you want your sauce to be. You can make it chunkier and just use that stuff straight, or you can filter it down really finely and just have a more liquid type hot sauce. Completely up to you and how you want it to be. I'm going to take this mixture that's been through the food mill and process a little smoother, and I'm going to use this funnel and put it right into my hot sauce jar. And here you have it. That's how to make hot sauce.